person show for you tonight. We captioned the show Around the Continent in 160 Days. Why? Because our guest is an interesting person. He's a Pan-Africanist who's driven to over 32 African countries in 160 days with a message: Africa must unite, Africa must visit each other, drop those borders, and let's do one thing. Ras Mubarak will be speaking to us tonight, reflections on his travels across the continent and on the Africa's future. Stay with us. Welcome back. So my guest has an interesting history. I knew him first as a reggae presenter on GBC. He later on became a politician, member of parliament, later also worked with the Youth Authority. These days, he's a Pan-Africanist who wants to unite Africa. Ras, thanks for joining us. Good evening.
Ben, we're in this together. Good to see you.
No. So how do I describe you? So are you like a political activist? What are you? Give me a sentence to describe yourself.
I'm a disciple of Kwame Nkrumah.
So you're an Nkrumahist?
Absolutely.
A Pan-Africanist?
A Pan-Africanist.
Are you still a politician?
I'm still a politician. Pretty much a politician.
A member of NDC?
Card-bearing member. Fee-paying member of the NDC.
Former member of parliament?
Former member of parliament. Former head of the Youth Authority of Ghana.
Amazing. But these days, you are Pan-Africanist in orientation and work.
I've always been, Pan-Africanist. I've
right.
always been inclined to Nkrumah's ideology of African unity, and I think that is crucial now than ever. Africa is a very exciting continent. 1.5 billion people. Our combined GDP is over 3.4 trillion, Bernard. Sadly, we're not trading amongst ourselves. We're not even touring amongst ourselves. We don't even know each other, and that is why a president from Ghana would go to Zambia, wear a fugu, and they'll call it a blouse.
Serious?
Simply because there are no cultural exchanges. And so we have felt strongly that we needed to give meaning and life to the cause that Nkrumah started way back in the 50s and 60s.
How did you see that Zambia thing?
Well, it was interesting. I said, voila, I told you. That is why we need to visit each other. We need to learn about each other. That is why we need to promote cultural exchanges. Because if the Zambians knew a lot more about Ghanaians, they wouldn't have ridiculed it and called it a blouse.
Which is funny because when you study economics, Ghana and Zambia are very similar.
Absolutely.
Speak English, both resource intensive. What gold is to Ghana is copper to Zambia. So I'm surprised that, and if you study economics, you have to study a lot about Zambia for comparative economics. So I'm surprised they didn't know that much about us. But it also feels as if Africa likes banter. So Ghana, Nigeria, Jollof, Namibia, Nigeria. When Aisho Speed visited. Are those things healthy? When African countries tease each other, is it okay?
Well, they are healthy insofar as people are not crossing the line, insofar as people are not bigoted about it, insofar as people are not tribal about it. But what has happened in Zambia has been very healthy. It's promoted the Fugu a lot more.
Yes.
A lot of foreign ministers are requesting for it. From our foreign minister. Next month, there's going to be a Kente and Fugu exhibition in the Zambia.
Are you kidding?
In Zambia, so it's an opportunity for people, to take advantage of and trade. And this is one of the things that we have been encouraging. That look, Africans, we've got to trade amongst ourselves. The market is so huge. If you look at West Africa's market alone, it's about 450 million. I don't see why we shouldn't be looking inwardly as Africans.
So it's not just banter, it's not just culture, it's business.
It's business, and business is key because business is unlocking a lot of potential. We've got a youthful population in Africa. And so all of these young people are looking for opportunities. The more commerce there are, the better for young people, but also the better for government because you get to generate revenue through taxes, etc. And then also tourism, which is key. And this is key because of the way global economics works. Recently, you've seen the slump in cocoa, prices on the international market. So it's crucial for governments, especially across Africa, to diversify. And what better to diversify with than with tourism? Every country in Africa has something special, something unique, something beautiful, to showcase. And we strongly believe that with tourism, we can generate the necessary resources, we can create the necessary jobs, and it will be the better for everybody. But of course, there are genuine and real problems. And one of the problems is that it's so expensive to travel within Africa.
We'll come to that. But I feel like Mohammed's role has been quite interesting. He is now the AU vice chair. He's expected to be AU chair when it's West Africa's turn. The way he's received when he travels across the continent. When you go to countries, do you get the sense of Mahama being, how is he seen? Because obviously you are from Ghana. Absolutely.
Well, he's well respected. He's been in office for his second coming, a year and 2 months. Passionate about, the issue of Pan-Africanism, of Africans taking control of their resources and adding value to all of that. Recently, he was talking about de-dollarization of the African economy. And I cringed and said, I made a post about it and said, look, we've got to pray for President Mahama and all Africans who are thinking like him, because we've seen incidences like that. When Lumumba wanted to nationalize the copper mines in Zambia, they took him out. When Nkrumah was promoting the integration of the African continent, they financed his overthrow. You can talk about Thomas Sankara and several others in Africa and Latin America who have sought for nothing but the upliftment of their people. And they have been seen as serious threats. And I'm sure you may have seen, a report by Russian intelligence, which even suggests that presidents of Burkina Faso and others are on the hit list, allegedly, of France. And so to take that posture is to bite or punch above your weight. But I believe this time around,
if you listen to where the world is now, what President Trump is doing, you listen to Canadian Prime Minister, what Europe is saying, I feel like in 2026, everybody now knows the truth. So Trump is no longer pretending, right? In the past, a lot of what the Western world did, they will deny it. But if you look at the blatant rhetoric of particularly the US, why not? Why shouldn't he tell us to diversify? Why shouldn't he tell us to? I mean, that's what leaders do.
Absolutely, and that's what all other leaders and well-meaning Africans should be pushing for. That there's got to be greater integration, that we've got to diversify our economies. We should stop our dependence on, the dollar. I don't see why you travel to Zimbabwe or DRC and you can actually get USD from an ATM.
American dollars.
American dollars. And the local currency is literally non-existent. That is how bad it is. You go to Liberia and you could pay for something as little as pure water with American dollar.
Are you serious?
Seriously. You could pick an Okada ride with an American dollar.
They accept the dollar.
They accept it.
In Liberia?
Yes, they accept the dollar in Liberia.
Zimbabwe?
They accept it in Zimbabwe. They accept it in DRC. And it's pretty bad for the African continent. Hopefully, if what we are doing and what others are doing is to succeed, then obviously we'll be moving away, from this dollar dependency.
So, of all the things you want to do in the world, why would you lead a bunch of 8 or so people to drive around over 30 African countries? Not by plane, you are driving.
We drove through.
What is the whole idea behind that? 31
African countries. First of all, to see what the real challenges are.
When did you conceive this idea?
Early last year, and we thought that look, something has to happen. I mean, I'm not excited by how slow we are with the integration of the African continent. Several protocols have been signed, but Bernard, they haven't been ratified. The protocol on free movement, the protocol on right of abode, right of establishment, since 2008, signed by several other countries. There's only 4 countries that have ratified it.
Wow.
Niger, Mali, Seychelles, and Rwanda. And out of these 4, 2 have been,
ejected from ECOWAS.
By, ECOWAS and the African Union. They've been suspended. And so you need 15 countries in Africa to actually trigger, the protocols. For Bernard to leave Ghana and go and reside in Botswana or anywhere else and start a business, as if you were in Ghana starting a business. That is what these protocols were to, achieve. And we want to see acceleration because the pace is very slow. If you've signed all of these protocols in 2018 and by 2026 only 4 have ratified, it means you've got a bigger challenge. And so we felt we need to take the campaign to the leaders. It's got to be a people's campaign.
And you decided that you would do this by road.
And we decided that we would do this by road.
So when did you set off?
We took off from Ghana on the 18th of August.
18th August 2025.
Returned to Ghana on 22nd January 2026.
Did you ask the president's permission before you did such a thing?
Well, interestingly, I'm not a member of government.
I know.
And so I don't...
But,
but of course...
It's a quasi-diplomatic thing you're doing.
Absolutely.
You are traveling to 32 African countries.
We've had enormous support.
Yeah. So that's the chief of staff seeing you off.
That's the chief of staff seeing us off at the Independence Square. And we felt, taking off from the Independence Square was very symbolic. This is the Independence Square of Ghana. Ghana has always been the epicenter of the Pan-African movement. So it was a statement by itself that, look, this is where we want to set off from, and then this is where we want to return to. So we got back.
So who are the guys with you?
So
are they in the photo?
Yes, I mean in your shots in red.
To your left.
To the left is Dr. Johnny Osui-Chan. He's an optometrist.
So he's a medical doctor.
He's an eye specialist, businessman. Myself, you've got Bash behind the chief of staff.
Wearing white.
White. You've got Dr. Rejoice Foley, the only female member of the team.
Medical doctor.
Yes, no, she's a doctor of letters.
Okay.
You've got Eric Japon. And as a matter of fact...
Eric is the next to him.
Eric is next to Rejoice. He's an interesting character because we left one of our vehicles in Zambia for it to be fixed. And Eric drove solo to Ghana through 9 countries.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Eric alone?
Eric alone.
Drove from Zambia, back to Ghana.
Drove solo.
The tall guy next to the yellow guy.
The tall guy, yes.
What is his profession?
So he was a banker and communication specialist as well.
So what's happening here?
We had an accident in Zambia. This is the accident. As you can see, a truck, crossed us and then we skidded off the road. It was just miraculous.
So Eric stayed behind to fix the car?
Eric stayed behind to make sure that at least the car was in good condition.
And drove it alone back to Ghana from Zambia?
To Ghana from Zambia. Got locked up in Congo by gendarmes for not speaking French. As if, an ability to speak a foreign language was a
when he had gone through the country already?
When he had gone through the country already. When he had been received at the very highest level. Because in Congo, we're received, by the Minister for Tourism in Congo. He had all the laissez-passer, all the documents,
Drove back to Ghana alone?
Drove back to Ghana solo, yes,
And who else was on the trip?
And then, you've got Humphrey from PPF, far right, yeah. from my screen, and San Akologo. These are all supporters of the campaign.
And the campaign is called what?
The campaign is called the Trans-Africa Tourism and Unity Campaign. And you've got lawyer James Afedo. James was actually supposed to come with us.
Former journalist, former
BBC.
He's in blue.
He's in blue. The thinking was that if you got to a place and there are legal issues.
Wow. So he's part of the team?
He's part of the team, yes, And,
so you left on 18th August from Accra?
In January 2026.
All right, you show me the African map. I want you to walk me through where you went to. So
we are
in, let's do it here.
Okay.
We are in Ghana.
Yes, that's where we
By the way, the green is the countries you intended to go to.
The green are the countries we've conquered or the countries we've traversed.
Wow.
And
so apart from the Sahel, you've been to almost every country in Africa?
Every country in Africa, apart from the Sahel, and 3 countries in North Africa.
So you didn't do Ethiopia, you didn't do Sudan because of the war?
We didn't do Ethiopia because of the outbreak of the Marburg virus. Because from Ethiopia, we're going to do South Sudan, then do Central African Republic, then Chad, Niger, Algeria, Morocco, then come down. That was the original plan.
So you took off from Ghana?
Then to Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon here, then Gabon, Congo.
Did you do Equatorial Guinea?
We did it. Oh, I almost forgot. It's so tiny.
So you from Cameroon, you came to Equatorial Guinea?
We came to Equatorial Guinea, Bata. Then we did Gabon, then Republic of Congo.
So this is Congo-Brazzaville?
This is Congo-Brazzaville. This is Congo-Kinshasa. Then we did vast Angola, interesting country. Angola is one of those countries in Africa you would see a sea reclamation, beautiful,
wow.
coastline, more than 10 kilometers, doing well for themselves, oil rich, but of course you understand.
Wow.
But this is a country that has been through a lot of trauma as well,
wow.
civil strife. Then we did Sam Numes, Namibia, small country. The thing,
in terms of population.
In terms of population, you know, but it's a
vastly desert.
It's a vast country, good infrastructure, but you also see a lot of ownership of land
by non-Africans.
You know, and that's a ticking time bomb, not just in Namibia, but in South Africa as well, where people have, you know, fenced off.
So in this part of the continent, there's a lot of land issues.
There's a lot of land issues. You know, now these three countries have the Trans-Kalahari border posts.
So Namibia, Botswana, South Africa.
Namibia, Botswana, South Africa. Beautiful infrastructure. And I think this is something that the rest of the continent can replicate.
So the road from Namibia to Botswana was good?
Excellent. The road from Botswana to South Africa, wonderful. The road from South Africa to Lesotho, great. Except that Lesotho is high in elevation. So they call it...
You go up?
They call it the kingdom in the sky.
Okay.
It's the #1 country in the world with the highest elevation.
Really?
Over 2,000.
So they are mostly in the mountains?
They are mostly in the mountains. That's Lesotho. But it's a very...
And it's surrounded by South Africa?
It's
country within country?
Country within country. From Lesotho to Eswatini. Beautiful culture. Lovely.
How different is Lesotho? I don't understand. How do you have a country within a country?
These are one people, pretty much. You know, but the sad spectacle in a place like Southern Africa is that kids from Lesotho at the border would go to school in South Africa. But sadly, every morning their passports have to be stamped in.
Children to go to school?
Yes. And when they are returning...
Even though South Africa is run by black people.
And they speak the same language.
And yet they have to get their passports before they go to school.
You know, this is one of the tragedies of the partitioning of Africa. So from here, Eswatini, then Mozambique.
It's a big country, you know.
Mozambique is also vast. Mozambique is very vast, equally beautiful, wonderful coastline, good seafood. Zimbabwe, beautiful. You know, they've planted a lot of flowers, jacaranda trees. As a matter of fact, Zimbabwe was adjudged the most tourist-friendly country of the year 2025 by Forbes. They're getting all the indicators right, except for their, you know, currency. And it's one of the countries in Africa that is very, very safe. You could literally, you know, go out at midnight and you wouldn't have
Mugabe and Mnangagwa are doing something right.
Absolutely. But you can't do that in a place like South Africa, for instance. Crime rate is very, very high. Parts of Lesotho, murder, crime, very high, obviously because of the proximity with South Africa. Then Zambia.
Fugu
Zambia. Or Blouse Zambia, as they call it.
And by the way, what's the average number of days you spend in this country?
4 days, averagely, because you arrive the next day, you're holding meetings.
So you are not there to just have fun. You go and meet.
No. You go and you meet leaders. For instance, in Botswana, we met with the Chief of Staff, and then we met with the Minister of Presidential Affairs.
You present petitions to them?
We present petitions. In Eswatini, we met with the Acting Prime Minister. In Eswatini, we met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Zimbabwe.
Wow.
We met with the Deputy Minister of Finance in Mozambique. We met with the Vice President in Zambia. Beautiful.
So these are high-level meetings you're holding?
Meetings. Because the technocrats prepare all the documents, but we don't get to act on the documents. So if there's anybody who's to be convinced, it's got to be...
So they are told that there are a bunch of 8 Ghanaians driving around the continent with a petition that what? Africa must unite.
That, you know, they've got to open their borders.
Serious? This is crazy.
We've got to encourage trade. Now they are self-sufficient when it comes to food, poultry products, grains. Zambia, doing very well for themselves, even though landlocked. Malawi, we were received by the foreign minister. As a matter of fact, he was the second minister who was nominated, because it was a new government by the time we got to Malawi. Also a landlocked country. Now Tanzania, vast, beautiful, breathtaking. You know, if you're a lover of nature, these are some of the places.
Tanzania.
You know, you need to visit.
Did you see Lake Tanganyika?
We skated around the lake, you know, but we got locked in here for about a week because of the political violence in Zambia. In Tanzania, they had closed their border. And
this was during the election?
This was during we got to the border when they were voting, actually.
So you couldn't enter for a few days?
So we couldn't enter for a whole week. And then from Tanzania, the plan was to go to Burundi. But, you know, the road was very bad into Burundi. So we decided to do Rwanda, come to Burundi. But the Rwandese and the Burundians don't talk to each other, so their borders are...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you can't enter Burundi from Rwanda?
No, you can't enter Burundi from Rwanda. Neither can you enter Rwanda from Burundi.
Oh no.
So we did Kenya.
So you have to sacrifice Burundi.
We did Kenya and then
Uganda.
In Uganda, we were met by Excellency President Yoweri Museveni.
You met M7.
Interesting
physically.
Character.
We'll come to that. I will go back to that.
Great.
Let's wrap up the move.
So
you did Kenya?
We did Kenya, and then we were to head to Ethiopia.
Uh-huh.
Marburg virus breaks out, and then we had to come back through Rwanda into Zambia. Then we got an accident somewhere here.
Oh, it was on your second
It was
trip
on our
to
return.
So the original plan was from Kenya to Ethiopia, South Sudan, Central African Republic, Chad, Niger, Algeria,
Morocco, Mauritania,
and then come down.
Senegal, Gambia.
That was the plan.
That was the plan.
So when you couldn't get into Ethiopia because of the Marburg virus, you decided to work your way back down to Zambia.
Yes, and then because the plan was to come back and
you left the car with one guy.
We left the car with Eric in Japan, and
you flew to.
We flew all the way to Morocco.
Okay.
From here via Dubai.
Means you use other cars because when you can't fly with the cars.
The plan was to airlift the vehicles, even though it was very expensive. Each vehicle was costing us about 22,000 US.
Jesus.
You know, and then Morocco, we realized we couldn't drive to Algeria also because they are
quarreling.
They're also not talking to each other.
So Burundi is quarreling with Rwanda. Morocco is quarreling with
Algeria because of Western Sahara. Ethiopia is quarreling with Eritrea. As a matter of fact, Ethiopian Airlines can't fly directly to Eritrea.
Ethiopia and Eritrea are not talking to each other.
Not talking to
even
each
though
other.
they are cousins.
You know, and then Rwanda and
Burundi are not talking.
And then Rwanda and Congo because of
Lord. So you had to do Congo through a different route.
I mean,
you came to Congo first.
We came to Congo
first.
So
you didn't even want to go to.
We didn't even want to go to Congo because Congo. Look at the size of Congo. Congo is vast, and you know, in many parts of Congo, you've got conflict.
It's probably the second largest country in Africa, apart from Algeria.
Algeria, yes. It used to be Mali as well.
No, it was Sudan. It was Sudan, right? Before it was split. Yes, so the three were Algeria, Sudan, and
DRC.
So you flew to Morocco.
And then
the Algerians said they won't let you enter.
No, so I mean, we can enter Algeria, but you can't fly in directly, or you can't drive into Algeria from Morocco, or vice versa. Because
once you go to Morocco, don't come to Algeria direct.
You have to go outside of the continent.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
So when you got to Morocco, what did you do?
So we had to fly to Paris. And this was December.
You flew from Morocco to Paris.
We flew
so you could enter Algeria. Wow.
And then these guys also said they wouldn't give us visas.
Mauritania. Why?
Obviously, they get a lot of funding from the European Union to keep people from sub-Saharan Africa from accessing Mauritania. It's a migrant route.
Oh, so they thought you were trying to flee to Europe.
Even when,
but didn't you tell them you were just from Europe?
Our embassy in Mali, which oversees Mauritania, had written to them formally.
And you were just coming from Europe?
And we're just coming from Europe.
Maybe you look like a stowaway, somebody who could stow away. Wow. So Mauritania wouldn't accept you?
Mauritania wouldn't give us visas, you know. And so we had to fly to Senegal.
Wow.
And then drive from Senegal. And this is where I was.
So Senegal was a road trip back?
Senegal was a road trip all the way back to Accra.
All right, beautiful.
And I need to pay homage and respect to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
In Senegal?
No, I mean
in Ghana?
Our Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
All right.
Because we use their vehicles. So the embassy would drive us to the border.
Wow.
And then another country.
So basically the Foreign Ministry said, we have these 7 people who don't know what to do with their lives. So when they get to your country, put them in a car and drive them to the border.
You know, so they give us vehicle, they'll drive you to the border, another country will pick you.
Wow.
You know.
And they coordinated that?
They coordinated that. Because, don't forget,
the cars had been abandoned here.
Been abandoned in Zambia. Where is Zambia? The cars had been abandoned here.
So every country from here back to Ghana, the Foreign Ministry coordinated?
Yes, was without our original vehicles.
Oh, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to one border, the other countries is waiting.
It's waiting with the ambassador or sometimes.
But that's beautiful.
You know.
I mean, that's amazing.
Ghana has always been the epicenter of the Pan-African agenda, and the government of Ghana, past and present, buy into the Pan-African agenda. So we had.
So when the Ghana Foreign Minister calls you,
and we interacted greatly. The chief of staff was checking in on us, you know, almost every 3 days. Are you guys safe?
So the government of Ghana, even though they didn't officially send you, they knew what you were doing?
Yes.
Wow.
Because government fully understands the benefits.
Which is why when you got into trouble, so from Senegal through Gambia, I mean, this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
2 countries in one space.
2 countries in one. And then
Guinea.
And then Sierra Leone.
So you didn't do Guinea-Bissau?
No, we didn't do because of the coup d'etat.
There was a coup at the time?
They had closed their borders, and then Sierra Leone. Now, Sierra Leone is also interesting. Country that has been through war, but they are getting the infrastructure right. One of the challenges you would observe in sub-Saharan Africa is filth. Plastic waste.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. You know, in the capitals, in the rural areas. But of course, you can't find that in Rwanda.
No plastic waste.
No plastics. Whether it's in the rural area, whether it's in the town or
you won't
city,
find plastic.
You would not find plastic. You will be fined. And you can't exceed speed limits. You'll get a ticket.
Let's take a break. I'm interested in this story. We're talking to Ras Mubarak about his very interesting trip across Africa in 160 days with 7 other people. This is The Point of View. Stay with us.